Well, hello there. This is a tad bit different, as you might have noticed already. Now, don't worry, it's merely a short video format where I will find me some sillies to assess their silliness, to see if they have what it takes to become a jester in the order of the sillies. Here's Mike, and he is rather silly. Let's see if he can make the cut of at least 33 silly points.
What are rockets hitting in outer space?
Now, foreshadowing your conspiracy theories using the three wise Kermits is clever, although it was accompanied with an asinine question.
Or can we even call it outer space?
Can we even call it outer space cliché? Making unfounded claims about space being fake without falsifying the established science. That's not a good way to start a video.
The dome?
Nope.
The glass?
Nope.
Are they running into water?
Nope.
Are they running into another gas?
Nope. Unscientific Bible stories.
A globe earther sent me an STS shuttle launch to prove to me that the Earth was in fact a ball.
In case you confused him for a flat earther, what else did you expect? Glober's gonna globe.
And we're going to examine that just so briefly.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure just briefly going over the biggest counterclaim against your flat Earth is too brief?
But first up, we're going to examine the Go Fast Rocket Team's rocket.
Did you just say Team Rocket? Assuming you did, I will have to deduct a silly point for that. Well played.
And see if there's any similarities between that launch and NASA's launch.
Having to watch videos to confirm similarities between two similar things.
The Go Fast team first.
Fast forward skip.
Okay, so the sound of the engine starts to diminish as if maybe A's run out of fuel or B is being suffocated by something, and so there can be no more combustion.
Asking an obvious question with an obvious answer is obviously obvious, while having no understanding that a rocket engine is specifically designed to run without external oxygen. Also, A.
The rocket is spinning really fast still at this point from takeoff.
Somehow requiring spinning footage alerting you to spinning footage makes my head spin.
And coming up here, something else happens. And it's right about here, watch. So, despite the rocket spinning as fast as it was, something brought this rocket to a complete halt.
I wouldn't call a D-spin mechanism merely something, and you could have googled this in mere seconds. Besides, it merely made it stop spinning. It did not, as your dishonesty implying, stop its forward momentum.
And now the rocket gets suspended in air.
Suspended is not the word you're looking for, but it does appear this way if you don't take into account its speed and the skills involved.
And it starts to turn on its side. It's just like floating in something.
Wasn't it according to you suspended in air? You are a flip-flopping slippery one, aren't you? Stop flip-flopping.
Now, I don't think this is water because we probably see water on the lens.
Oh hey, a valid conclusion. You cannot see water droplets on a lens when underwater. Besides, it's probably just condensation or dust debris gathering on the lens. I mean, there is a lot of smelly stuff coming from the backside of the rocket. Too bad you screwed it up by not saying hi to the moon. Hi moon. Love your work.
But I found this very interesting that the rocket just stops, all combustion stops, and now the rocket is on its side and just frozen there in space.
And here I thought we actually established the order of happenings, with it running out of fuel, activating its D-spin mechanism, detach its booster, and having a grand old time at the near edge of space.
Let's compare this to the STS shuttle launch.
Final launch of Endeavour, expanding our knowledge, expanding our lives in space.
Did he say expanding our lives in space or lives?
Clever.
Probably lives. Let's keep watching.
Yes, let's. Fast forward skip.
So watch what happens to the second rocket. Pay attention to the flame. We have a nice rocket combustion here, but as everything gets suspended at this point...
Suspended is not the word you're looking... Wait, didn't we just do this one?
And starts to turn just like the Go Fast rocket started to turn. This flame seems to be pushing against a barrier of some kind or some type of gas.
Or, now stay with me here, the rocket is turning.
As the rocket turns and heads towards Earth, turns its nose towards Earth, and eventually the flame doesn't have any more oxygen and just gets snuffed out.
Once again, not understanding how a rocket works. These are, as you know, solid fuel boosters, which have an oxidizer mixed in with their solid fuel. They don't get snuffed out, you git. They merely run out of fuel as expected, because at this point they are no longer needed to boost the shuttle into orbit. Indicated by, oh, I don't know, they're detached? Also, another silly point for making me explain this twice.
At this point, things get quiet, and all the pieces that NASA set up there start to just slowly rotate as if suspended in a liquid.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Not all the pieces, just the 2 boosters. And as you can clearly see by the debris on the lens, they are not suspended in a liquid. Space is not a liquid. Stop being silly. Oh, wait. Carry on. Fast forward, skip.
So everything kind of seems like it's just suspended, bobbing around up there.
Suspended is not the word. Oh, you son of a. Also, bobbing around, suggesting it's in water, while they are merely floating at the near edge of space, in a decaying orbit, if you can even call it an orbit, to eventually plummet into the ocean.
They're not orbiting Earth because they're not traveling 17,500 miles an hour. They're just kind of stuck up there, spinning around.
Oh, come on, man. You know these boosters aren't meant to orbit the Earth. They are merely used to boost the bloody shuttle up there with its fuel tank still attached. And they are not stuck up there. And you have seen footage of them splashing into the ocean with a deployed parachute, right? Right?
So let's take a look at this other camera here.
Fast forward, skip.
Now the smoke of the rocket most likely would continue in the same direction. It wouldn't orientate with the back of the rocket. But the thrust coming from the combustion of the rocket should follow in line with the rocket, but it's not. It's being pushed by something back towards Earth. It's like there's this resistance to the combustion of this rocket.
Indeed, the fuel is running out and it's spinning around its axis, and these boosters haven't actually left our atmosphere yet. So you're simply seeing drag and air resistance on the smoke and the fizzling of the boosters. Duh. Or rather...
And one more thing, I probably shouldn't have to mention this, but this is what globe earthers think prove curvature of the Earth. Oh wait, that would prove convex Earth. My fault. Never mind.
That's a nice straw man you've got there. Would be a shame if something happened to it. I mean, only stupid people say that. Oh hey, fancy meeting you here, Mike.
So just like the Go Fast rocket that went up, was immediately stopped by something. Something stopped all its momentum, stopped it from spinning, and then it turned on its side and just kind of bobbed in space for a bit, suspended up there. So is this ST shuttle rocket. Everything stops, the combustion stops, something's resisting the combustion, resisting, and just snuffs it out as the rocket is now just suspended in air pointing towards Earth. So
holy freaking hell, Mike. That was quite a word salad there. I let you go on because you were making a conclusion, and I was keeping my fingers crossed you could maybe save face. Just a little bit. But hot damn, dude, you're making all the same asinine claims once more, in the face of a de-spin mechanism, the rocket's momentum that is not stopped immediately. Rockets having their own oxidizer, mixed in with their solid fuel to work in space, and claiming it's bobbing in space when it's doing no such bobbing motions at all. Suspended in air, in water, crashing into things. Can you please make up your fucking mind already about your nonsensical, completely unfounded claims? Even with me being generous, this is still at least worth another 6 silly points. There is no excuse for the sheer amount of willful ignorance in this information age we live in, with all the knowledge at the tip of your bloody fingers. No excuse whatsoever.
What is this? And Globebusters had a show where somebody came on with a German science team who had sent a rocket up. Same thing happened to them. And they claim to have discovered that sitting on top of Earth is a layer of sulfur hexafluoride.
A layer of sulfur hexafluoride on top of our atmosphere, you say? One of the densest gases out there at around 6.17 kilograms per meter cubed, compared to the air in our atmosphere at 1.2 kilograms per meter cubed. And that's layered on top of our atmosphere. Do you see the issue here?
Now, sulfur hexafluoride is a gas, and it does not conduct electricity, and it's supposedly sitting on top of our noble gas layer. So let's see what the sulfur hexafluoride looks like. Let's get an idea of what properties we would expect from such a gas.
Here we have a tank of sulfur hexafluoride, and somebody has constructed a boat made out of tinfoil. Now, as the boat is placed in the tank, you can see that it actually looks like it's floating on invisible water.
Still not understanding how dense this gas actually is when it's staring you right in the bloody face. What do you suppose makes the sulfur hexafluoride stay in the container? And why can that tinfoil boat actually float on top of it, but it cannot float on top of the air in our atmosphere?
Another property of sulfur hexafluoride is that as it gets colder, it starts to crystallize, which could explain these crystal-like formations on the cameras here. Here are the crystals formed on the Go Fast rocket camera as right before it gets suspended. And here NASA's own camera starts to crystallize right when it starts rotating. You can see the little formations. It looks like little ice etchings on the camera actually.
Once again, it looks like condensation or debris sticking to the lens. Being near the edge of space is pretty cold, so condensation isn't unheard of. The hexagons you are seeing in the out of focus droplets is probably caused by the aperture of the camera. As usual, no understanding of how cameras work either. I did not expect anything less with all the out of focus star footage you lots managed to record, and misinterpret and misrepresent of course.
And so the guy takes this tinfoil boat, fills it with the sulfur hexafluoride from the tank, and look what happens to the flames of these candles as he pours it over the top. Yep, snuffs the flame out, and this is the exact same thing that we see in rockets.
And even now, it still eludes you that the sulfur hexafluoride is indeed able to fall onto the candles due to its higher density, along with still unable to understand that these boosters have their own oxidizer mixed in with the bloody solid rocket fuel, making it completely impossible to snuff out the flame. So, well done I guess?
The engines just get cut off, they get suspended temporarily.
No, they ran out of fuel. And suspended is not the word you're You know what? I'm not even going to bother with this one anymore. You're clearly too tense.
Those ice crystals form and they fall back down to Earth.
Wait a minute. Didn't you claim they are frozen there, or floating, or bobbing, or suspended? And all you have shown are rockets and boosters which aren't even meant to go into orbit. The bloody space shuttle is the part which goes into space. Which part of boosters don't you understand, you silly dick flute?
Proving once and for all
that you're completely ignorant of science and shit?
We cannot get in space.
Oh. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but you're wrong.
And now we have a possible solution or explanation as to what's stopping us.
No, you don't. And speaking of bubbles, not acknowledging the floating bubbles right here might in fact be one of the purest forms of blasphemy.
This is Mike. Please like and subscribe.
Contrary to popular belief, that does not rhyme. Well, not entirely. Sir Helmick, by having amassed 56 silly points, you are now sentenced to be a jester in the Order of the Sillies. Now dance for me, boy. Also, thanks for subscribing, thanks for liking, thanks for all the doing the stuff with the bell thing. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, and if you like this kind of content, just let me know.